Hey guys, apologies ahead of time. I'm struggling through a major head cold here and my voice is ready to throw in the towel. But yeah, we'll get through this. So, it's been a few days since the Agents of Sabotage DLC dropped, so I thought I'd put a little video out there and give you my thoughts, opinions, and first impressions. So for those of you not aware, this past Tuesday, Rockstar dropped their winter DLC titled Agents of Sabotage. And with it, we're getting a lot of interesting content, which I do want to touch on, but my initial impressions, as the title of this video indicated, is a sense of mediocrity. What do I mean by this? Well, I kind of get the sense that we're getting the same old thing again and again, just repackaged in a brighter box with fancier ribbons. When we first got information on this DLC, I was talking to a friend and we were discussing our expectations for this launch. We were both obviously not expecting much, but I remember telling him that I suspected we'd be getting a bunch of rehashed content. He asked what I meant, and I told him that Rockstar has become increasingly better at repackaging things we already have in the game, or something we can already get in the game, and spin it as if it's fresh and new, simply because this is easier for Rockstar. My theory on this isn't exactly revolutionary. We're all well aware that Rockstar's focus is on GTA 6, so any DLC is going to be, well, mediocre. Commonplace, run-of-the-mill, uninspiring. I think you get the point. And, well, that's exactly what we got. So here's what I mean. Let's go over the business first. Outside of the establishment being familiar, this, of course, was Lester's main hangout during the first heist of Los Santos, the business itself is just like every other business we've received lately. We have the prototypical weapons workshop, living quarters, workstation, even the prototypical snack plate sitting on the table. So other than the layout, there's really nothing new here, except for the fast travel, which I'll get to in a moment. The actual AOS missions? Well, for those, we're only getting 4. There'll be a priority file assigned to one of these every week, which will allow a little more payout, but the overall missions are, again, very familiar. You start with some setups that have you collecting something, followed by the finale that has you delivering something. Think of the salvage yard or auto shop missions, just a different spin on something we've already seen or already have. Okay, let's talk about the fast travel option. The overall concept is great. I love it. However, what we actually received was a bit of a letdown, and for 2 reasons. A, there's really not a lot of traveling options. Of the 5 options, none will take you north of the city. And B, unfortunately, you cannot use this option during any of the AOS missions. And just like before, this option is really only a spin on something we already have. If you're playing solo, all you need to do is purchase a property near the area you need to fast travel to, choose this as your spawning location, and then just start a new session. You'll automatically fast travel to that location, and you can purchase property anywhere on the map, so it's not going to restrict you on where you can go. Alright, the next big item on the list is the Terrorbyte. With this DLC, we're getting some upgrades that I'm going to lump into 3 buckets. Bucket number 1, the collectible scanner. Bucket number 2, the Amani Tech stuff. And bucket number 3, the master control terminal. Okay, bucket number 1. The collectible scanner is simply a device you can equip that'll allow you to identify collectibles, playing cards, action figures, etc., while driving around in your Terrorbyte. So, alright, a lot to unpack here. First, the cost. To purchase this little upgrade is going to set you back roughly 1.3 million. That's a lot. Secondly, you'll need to drive around in your Terrorbyte with the scanner on to locate all the collectibles. Not an ideal vehicle to be driving around the map. Next, the scanner range itself is not very wide, meaning you'll need to be almost on top of the collectibles for it to register. And lastly, and most importantly, the location of said collectibles can simply be identified by using another method. This is GTAweb.eu. I've mentioned this website in other videos, and it's a great resource. All you need to do is a bit of filtering, and it'll show you the exact location of each and every collectible, and it won't cost you a thing. And you can travel to them with your fastest vehicle of choice. Again, this is just a different spin on something we've already seen or have access to. Are you seeing a trend here yet? Alright, in bucket number 2, we're getting some Amani type stuff. A silent running option that allows you to stay off other players' radar, and the missile lock-on jammer. Great additions, but just like before, something we've already seen or have access to on other vehicles. And lastly, in bucket 3, we have the Master Control Terminal. If you already have this upgrade in your arcade, you know exactly what it is. If you don't, it's the exact same option and the upgrade for that business. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a great addition to have available to our Terrorbyte, but I'll say it again, something we've already seen or have access to, just in another business. And that's kind of the point here. There's really nothing new, for the most part, in this DLC. It's just a lot of rehashed content that we already have or have already seen. Exactly how I called it. Now, saying all this, it's not all mediocre. There are some shining lights in this DLC. For instance, first, able to kick off missions from your phone. Huge win. I'm really hoping this is something we see more of moving forward. Imagine we get to a point where we can kick off everything from our phone and not have to actually travel to the business. Utopia indeed. Second, getting a whole bunch of removed vehicles back and equipping them with the Amani tech. Big win again. And this is a win on 2 fronts. Not only are we getting a whole bunch of vehicles back in the game that Rockstar took from us, but now all these vehicles are being offered the Amani tech option. You think Rockstar's finally getting the hint that we all hate being griefed? Alright, lastly, we're getting new vehicles, new dispatch work, and semi-new missions for the AOS. Okay, yeah, a decent win here, I guess. Call me old-fashioned, but I still think a DLC should be more than just free vehicles and add-ons. Saying this though, all the new police vehicles in the game are definitely cool. It kind of makes you think Rockstar had something bigger in mind for all these vehicles. Wink wink, nudge nudge. I mean, having all these overpriced police vehicles really doesn't add up in the sense that all we have to show for it is Vincent's dispatch work. But I digress. So yeah, overall, my original assessment stands. Very mediocre, but very expected. I have absolutely zero disappointment from this DLC, and frankly, I don't think I'll ever have any more disappointment from this game until GTA 6 launches. This game is simply on its last legs, and we're all just limping along until the finish line. I understand this, the community understands this, and yes, even Rockstar understands this, which is why we got the DLC we got. Alright, so that's it, my friend. Thank you for watching. As always, if you like this video and want to help out, please subscribe, give a thumbs up, and let me know what you think. Overall impressions? Are you disappointed? Is this the best DLC ever? Or perhaps you're like me and weren't really expecting much anyway. If so, drop a comment below and let everyone know. Until next time, be happy, be well, be safe, mind you, be